Wow, that was so lovely. Thank you so much. Hello, thank you for coming to see comedy. My name is Nath Valvo. Thank you, hold your applause. And I turned 38 years old tomorrow. Thank you. Hold your applause again. Yeah, okay, no presents yet. That's fine. I do turn 38 tomorrow, so I've hit that age where I'm starting to analyse everything in my life and figure out what it is that I want. And the big question I'm trying to figure out right now is, should I become a dad? That is something that's swirling in my head. And I'm trying to land on a decision, but I can't because I'm very bad at making decisions. I get very overwhelmed. Any overthinkers in? Hello, overthinkers. I overthink every decision. It's a huge fear I have, is locking something in. Here's some other fears that I have. One, pool parties. I'm having a pool party, BYO cocktails and body issues. Two, one day I'm going to walk past a primary school and they're going to kick a footy over the fence and ask me to kick it back. And my biggest fear in life is running for public transport and just missing it. It's the just missing where my fear lies. One, you run in public, but two, a whole carriage of people that you've never met before see your face. That's an end your life event right there. I don't run. People love inspirational fridge magnets. Here's one for you. Nothing is worth running for. Nothing. Never forget that. Nothing is worth running for. My partner is a fit person and he does triathlons and stuff, and he says to me things like, you need to get your heart rate up. You're getting old. You got to get your heart rate up. Here's how I get my heart rate up. Not by running. I take an Uber home and in that Uber, I order Uber Eats. Who's going to get there first? Put a red light, fuck! Anyway, in every relationship, there is someone that is very good at making decisions. The girl. In every relationship. And every friendship group, there is the decision maker. Like, let's be honest, not everyone wants to be here tonight. That's fine. No refunds, I don't care. I just know that this was decided by someone in the group or in the relationship. I reckon the way you act in your WhatsApp group is a reflection of how you act in everyday life. You've got the person that creates the group, names the group, adds the members, self-appointed admin, here she goes. She's in full control of the whole group. Someone's applauding over here. But there's someone else in the WhatsApp group, the me's, and they're the lurkers. They're the one that you know is in the group, reading every single message, but never typing a thing, never getting involved, just watching all of you go on and on about the plans, where you're going, what time, where you're gonna eat, message, nothing. But as soon as the plans are locked in, who appears from the darkness? It's the lurker. Hey guys, can't wait, see you then. Where have you been for 3 months, you dodgy lurker? So hello lurkers that are here tonight. I am one of you. Catching up with my friends when we do eventually do it, it's just too hard, isn't it? Because they're all doing the thing I don't want, which is locking life in, making big decisions, and they're changing. They're turning the page. And I don't want to go with them all the time. I don't like it. I get overwhelmed, you know? Like, also, they're getting a bit boring. And catching up with boring people is not worth the effort, because it does take a lot of effort to see your friends, especially once everyone gets busy in your 30s. Here's where the Bible lost me as a reader. Okay? It's not the fact that Jesus walked on water or the fact he was resurrected from the dead. It's the fact he chose one night that all 12 of his friends were available for supper. And you're telling me, Jesus, all of them rocked up? I call bullshit on your story, mate. It's always someone not rocking up. Classic Judas. Joke for the Catholic kids. Hello? Everyone's changing, and I don't know if I love it. Like, how do I explain the change really easily? Oh, okay. A guy that I used to buy my pingers off tried to give me a copy of The Barefoot Investor. That's the change I'm talking about. He used to say, take half now, half later, it'll blow your mind. Not read the chapter on compound interest. Everyone's changing. And also, people in their 30s do really boring things. Like something happens with netball, mixed netball. Doesn't exist until you're in your 30s, and that's a shit sport. Don't do it. If you're going to start a mixed netball team, just know that most of your energy is going to go towards finding enough players, okay? Mixed netball. I hate catching up with my friends. Makes me feel like I'm not catching up with them in every sense of the word. And also, they're foodies. Ugh. Of course they're foodies. It's Melbourne. And we do really cute, fun things now, like dinner parties. Hi, we're 70. There's always some weird catch to the dinner party. Everyone is going to make one course each. And Danielle's quit sugar and she's on dessert. This should be interesting. Well, get her off dessert duties. This is a democracy. I hate people that quit sugar and still make dessert. Who do you think you are? The arrogance of someone. My God, it's just like the worst sentence you can ever hear before you have dessert is, it tastes just like the real thing. Give me the real thing, Danielle. I'm not leaving my house for chia seeds. Okay, that's me, how I figure out how many people know someone that has quit sugar. The chia seeds is very specific. Anyway, foodies, right? I can't stand them. So annoying. Restaurants in the city, Melbourne, so happy they're back. Thrilled. Missed some of them. But maybe we can take this opportunity to just reset and just be a regular restaurant and drop the wank, okay? How's the arrogance of a Melbourne restaurant that doesn't take bookings? No, we're a restaurant that doesn't take bookings. We want to make your night as hard as possible to plan and enjoy. Just rock up. Just rock up. Just rock up. Just rock up and we'll see if we can fit you in. And if not, you can just wait in the gutter like the dog that you are. And instead of telling them to get fucked, we'll go and line up in the gutter. Why do people line up for food? My friends line up for breakfast all the time. I'm not lining up for breakfast because I'm not in prison. How about that? Does my bloody head in. Thank you. Fucking breakfast. It's eggs. Make them at home. Anyway, so couples, I know that you're here and I know really why you're here. You don't care too much about the show. You just don't have to talk to each other for an hour. You're welcome. This is a community service more than anything. Everyone was banging on about single people having it hard in lockdown. Oh, get fucked. It was relationships. Talking to that person every day. Bloody hell, are you serious? All relationships are based on like 5 p.m. onwards, not the fucking daytime. It's been so hard for people in a relation. So thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Can I just give you a hot tip? I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but I just want to give you a hot tip about next time you don't know what to get your partner for a present. Here is the best present you can ever give them and they will be very happy, and I don't understand why it's not a thing in relationships. Cash. Nana had it right the whole time. Cash in an envelope. And Cody, my partner, said it's not romantic. I said, the romance is in the amount, mate. Show me you love me with those dollars. Pay up. So it was our 8-year anniversary just a few weeks ago. Thank you again, holding your applause. No, don't. Don't applaud that. No, I like a homophobic audience. I like it. It'll make me work harder. For our 8-year anniversary, no cash. And I thought he knew me, and he got us a day at the winery, which included a 12-course degustation experience. Now, if you don't know what a degustation meal is, why get everything done in one good course when you can spread it over 12 tiny, miserable courses, each one somehow smaller than the last? And you just sit there in 15-minute intervals thinking about how hungry you really are. We rocked up, there was no name to the restaurant. Of course, it was a symbol, just a symbol. We sit down, no menu, just a place card, and it had 3 words, and those words were, trust the chef. Have you met a chef? The first course was edible sand. Station. I forgot to tell you about the speakers. There were speakers on the table. They were playing the sound of the ocean. This is not a lie, because it was a full sensory experience. I reckon it was to drown out the sound of tables saying, why the fuck are we eating sand? Am I 2 years old? One course was foam. Foam. I think your dishwasher's broken, chef. Degustation. Why is it the fancier the restaurant, the more you want the bread roll? Why is that the thing? You sit there in a fancy restaurant just waiting for that freaking bread to come out. It finally does, and you look like you've been rescued from 3 months at sea, and you're just dipping the bread in that tiny, tiny olive oil bowl, trying to extract any remaining nutrients. Let's just go to Baker's Delight. Let's just cut out the shit and go to Baker's Delight. I'll be happy with the pizza scroll, thank you very much. But no, the big finale, they love infusion. The big finale was lamb with marshmallow. Surprise, infusion. Have you run out of ingredients, chef? Infusion is not good, okay? Infusion is in primary school when you'd come home from school and you were starving and you couldn't find anything to eat in the pantry, and you take it out on mum and you go, there's nothing to eat. And she knew there was nothing to eat, but she wouldn't go down without a fight. And she'd come to the pantry and get real... She'd be like, what are you talking about, Nathan? There are plenty of things for you to eat in this pantry if you just opened your eyes. You got a bowl of salt sitting here no one's touched. Make yourself a bowl of salt. There's a cinnamon stick right there. Get the cinnamon stick out. Mix out the bowl of salt. There's a tea bag right here. You love tea. Get the tea bag out. Mix out the bowl of salt and the cinnamon stick. There's an expired can of peaches right here, Nathan. Mix the expired can of peaches with the salt and the cinnamon stick and the tea bag. Infusion is not fancy. It's a desperate mum doing fucking improv in an empty pantry, Melbourne. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, don't applaud yet. You're making me work. I also hate juice bars. Here's why I hate juice bars. I want the juice. I don't want to say the ridiculous name. Why are they named such insane things? I'm a 37-year-old adult standing in the middle of a food court asking for a chocky wocky mango berry bash bash. Is this a hidden camera show? It's humiliating. This is why I love Chinese restaurants. No one's mucking around in a Chinese restaurant. What do you want? Number 8, mate. Fucking done.
And now, a fitness tip with Nath Valvo.
Do Pilates. Why just do a sit-up when you can also tell people you've got money? Right, should I become a father? Now, that does involve my partner, Cody, of 8 years. That's something we should talk about. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, maybe you should do the other thing first. Maybe you should get married. You know, you can do that. We found a post office box, mate. We're still in the maybe pile. If that's okay with you, we're still in the maybe pile. We just don't know yet. But I'll tell you this much, my friends. Since they passed the law to make gay marriage legal, there's been like thousands and thousands of same-sex marriages in this country, and I haven't been invited to a single gay wedding. What is it, like 4 years in now? This is not right. I am an icon. What the hell? In the Brunswick West half-Italian gay community. What the hell is happening? The cost of equality was finding out that I've got no friends. I'm so happy I voted no. No one's been able to answer my questions about, especially gay men getting married, you know? Like, whose family pay for it? I'm guessing the Tops. He deserves a free drink, go on. Cheaper too, he won't eat. Anyway... Do you think that one will get cut? And also I know since I've been talking about becoming a father, I know at some point in the last 15 minutes you have thought about my sperm. I know it, all right? I know there's some weird subconscious thing that you've thought about it at least once, and that's okay. I'm fine talking about it, and the gays that are here in the audience will know this. We're used to people talking about all of this because we get it all the time. Even the day I came out, from day one, this has been a topic, okay? I came out when I was 21 years old. That year was 2003. What? What did I look like? Good question. I had a lot of heavy shoes from Tarot Cash, a lot of pockets. I had leather wristbands all the way up my arm. I had a fringe that started here and ended here. I had 2 earrings, a tongue ring, and severe acne. I was disgusting. And I thought, now's the time to come out, because if there's a group of people that don't care about the way you look, it's the gay community. The first person you come out to is so nerve-wracking. It really is. And the words that they say stick with you for the rest of your life. You never, ever forget the first time. And the first person I came out to was my good friend Liz. And I had to take her somewhere where I was comfortable to come out to a human. So I took her to Greensborough Plaza. Place of dreams. 2 food courts, get on board. So... we went to the top food court. Actually, I got there 15 minutes before she did, so I could duck off to Sanity to get myself a copy of Anthony Clear's single, The Prayer. Hid that in one of my many pockets, next to my Billabong wallet and my chain, and then popped on down to the top food court, got her a Wendy's thick shake, Blue Heaven, here we go. Sat her down, uber nervous, and I said the words, and they actually came out of my mouth for the first time ever. I said, I've got something to tell you, Liz. I'm gay. And the first thing she said to me was, I know, I've met you, but... the second thing she said was, when we hit 35, if I haven't had a baby, that sperm is mine, you're my plan B, don't you ever forget it. You have made this about you 6 seconds after I came out. This is how the gay-girl relationship works, just a battle for attention. And I thought, OK, I'll just let it slide, and it was time to come out to my second person. Now, any gay that tells you coming out was hard is lying. It is the best. I drip-fed that goss for 6 months. I just told someone a week and just let me bathe in the drama of it all. Festival of You, get on board. So next up on my spreadsheet was Fiona, another good friend of mine. Took her to Greensborough Plaza food court, went to the top food court, got her a Wendy's thick shake, got a discount. She worked there. Sat her down. When she finished her Blue Heaven, I said to her, I have something to tell you. Fiona, I'm gay. And the first thing she said to me was, I know, Liz told me. Bloody MSN. But the second thing she said to me was, and by the way, if anyone's getting that sperm and we hit 35, it's me, not her. You're my plan B. Don't you ever forget this. It's like, is there an ad on Gumtree I'm not aware of? This is psychotic. Fast forward to just a few weeks ago. Cody and I were at a baby shower. That's right. When you're a homo, you get invited to the Bucks night, the Hens night, and the baby shower. This drunk woman, it's 1 o'clock on a Saturday in the afternoon, she comes up to Cody and I at the end of the shower and says to Cody, you are so good looking and you're really smart. Are you going to donate your sperm? It would be such a waste if you didn't. Let's unpack that. Firstly, I'm standing right here. What's wrong with mine, bitch? But secondly, it was the word waste that threw us. I think it's thrown the whole room. What a weird word to say to someone. And look, I'll confess something. We've got to care about our carbon footprint. Of course we do. And I'll confess to you all right here. Sometimes in our house, we forget to recycle. And sometimes we leave lights on. And we waste, a ton of cum. I'm just standing still so they have an edit point. I don't know if you know how science works, but if Cody and I decide to have a baby, it's going to be quite hard. It's not easy to do for our kind, and I need things to be very easy for me to do them. So this is half the issue, is just figuring out, you know? And I believe this. I believe that once you have kids, that's all fine, but I feel that we should never retire, by the way, because this is how forward I'm thinking. This is how far in the future I'm going. I'm like, and what happens when we retire, right? I don't think anyone should ever retire. I think we should all work to the day that we die, because having a job keeps your brain busy. And if you retire, you become my parents. My mother, Lynn, retired, so bored. The older your mother gets, the longer the phone calls from her, but with less to say. It's a weird equation. Every now and then, Lynn will call me with some hot greensy goss, and I'm totally on board. But that's rare. Most of the time when she calls, she only has like one bit of information to tell me, and I don't know when that one bit is going to drop. So you have to pay attention to the whole call. It's a marathon. You know, you take a seat. It's a mum call. Here's a fresh one for you. Try and pinpoint the one good bit of information that mum had. Oh, hello, love. Surprised you answered. Hello. Just finished washing the dog. God, she loved it. I read an article yesterday that tomatoes give you cancer. That looks scary. Bumped into Marlene from up the road yesterday, love. She's done her kitchen up. She's gone with the white marble. It's come up fantastic. Jump on Facebook and have a look at the pics, would you? She uploaded the gallery to Facebook. It's called New Kitchen. I can't remember if it was you or your brother that went to school with one of the white boys, but one of the white boys did her kitchen. What a small world. You remember the Whites, don't you, Nathan? They've got the two girls as well. One of them's a teacher, the other one's a lesbian. Their father, Craig, with the carpal tunnel, used to work at the tile shop. His brother, Robert, murdered somebody. Murdered somebody? Why don't you open with that? Skip the tomato news, Lynn. Get to the murder. Is this a true crime podcast? Why is this going for so long? And what do you mean she has two daughters, one of them's a teacher, the other one's a lesbian? For the final time, Mum, lesbian is not an occupation.
And now it's time for things that have never been said watching a play.
This is good. That is a ballsy joke to do in this venue, let me tell you that much. Gonna get bashed by an improv group. I feel that the hardest part about any relationship is pretending that you like your partner's friends. How are we going with that? Made you row a little uncomfy, have I? It's true. You don't choose them, do you? And you've got to put up with them quite a lot. And it's hard for me. Anyone that meets Cody and I often makes the comment that we don't really match. We don't. We are a huge mismatch. On paper, we make no sense. Cody's job is quite different to mine. We have little different roles that we play in society. Cody is an infectious disease scientist. That's not a lie. That's Cody's job. Whatever. And the last couple of years has really made me look at myself. Cody's job last year, every single day, was to get up and go into the lab and try and find a cure for COVID. That was Cody's day job last year. My profession doesn't exist in a drop-down menu. Juggler does. And we're fine, but it's when we combine our worlds, that's when it's not great, okay? So, scientists, let's talk about them just for a quick seckie. Very good for society, very bad for small talk socially, okay? Bunch of fucking losers, let me tell you that much. Love them to bits, do your work, stay away from me on the weekend, okay? Once a year I get dragged along to a med ball and I go because trophy wife, hello. I arrive with my little backlist number. None of them find me funny, which is absurd. It's the longest night of my life. They love Norway. You know those people that talk about Norway all the time? They're always like, something very interesting is happening in Norway. I doubt it. They say words I don't understand. Last time some guy threw the word nebulous mid-sentence. And I was like, oh, well, you're not wrong. Hey Siri, what's nebulous? Vague or ill-defined. Well, then just say that, dickhead. I can't tease his friends. Mine are just as bad. Oh, get this. This is fresh. This happened a couple of weeks ago. This is a thing now at Paz. We got invited to a working bee. Sorry, what? A friend of ours texted us going, hey, we're having everyone over on the weekend to build a cubby house for the girls. We'll supply the tools and the beers. You supply the labour. Haha, let us know if you can make it. Sorry, what? I've never been to a work site in my life. I'm not going now, thank you. A work site's just men being men, hammering shit and sawing shit and nailing shit. What would my job be? Snacks? I don't know. Just arrive with a tray of iced teas. Come and get it, fellas. Who invited Blanche from the Golden Girls? I didn't go, as if. The high school I went to had 1,200 students. 1,200 all-boys school. Disgusting, angry, teenage boys. The tiniest whiff of difference and you were a goner in my school. And this survived fine, okay? I was fine. And I'll tell you why. Let me quickly break it down. There is generational differences happening and it's lovely to see. I have heard that there are now students at this school who are proudly open and out of the closet and they're in year 7 and year 8 and that's incredible to hear because I'm telling you now, when I was there, it's like, of course, be an individual and be your authentic self. The day after you graduate, freak. I'm just saying, it was the Hunger Games at that place. Like, stab it, cunt, in the fucking neck if you had to. Just get out of there alive. And so every gay I know who's my age, we suffer from a condition called straight voice. Straight voice is this thing we do when we're around like a plumber or an uncle or like the RACV man. Our body language changes, we start bopping, our hand goes back here for some reason. Just say things we never normally say. Sup, mate? Dude, how are you, champ? What's going on, buddy? Yeah, how's the missus? Yeah, working the mines. Sheds. And I think in high school, my friends absolutely knew what was going on, but they were so kind that they just never said anything. They just let me be, you know? Because I tried way too hard. I was always like, hey, fellas, how good sucking off a puss? Will I be a good dad? I don't know. It's a question I ask myself all the time. I don't know what skill set you're supposed to have to be a good dad, but I can tell you this much. There is one part about being a dad I'd be very, very good at. You're all adults, you can hear this now. No matter what it is that your family is doing together, no matter what the special occasion that it is that you are sharing together as a family unit, I can promise you your dad is not having a good time. That's a dad clap, by the way. It's a sad, angry dad clap that he's off his couch. There is nothing grumpier than a dad at something. That's it. That's the end of that sentence, just dragged along. The only time my dad is truly happy to leave the house is to check if the neighbour's tree is growing on his side of the fence. You know? When we were let out into the world, knock on the door, first day out. It's Lynn, Mum, hello, bringing over pasta. Thank you, Lynn. Invited her in. Wow, a guest. This is cool. In the kitchen, having a yap. About 20 minutes into the catch-up with my mum, I said, do you want a cup of tea? And she said, oh, I can't stay, your father's in the car. haven't seen him for 3 months. What are you doing, Dad? Put the handbrake on. Get out. All dads do this very weird thing, and I reckon it's happened in your family. Mum is consistent from birth. God, she doesn't change, that woman. Solidly consistent. But dads, something happens to a dad in his later years when your dad never, ever, ever cries for your whole life, and then all of a sudden, all he does is cry. It's a very, very subtle... It's one moment. We all saw our dad cry for the first time only a couple of years ago. And wow, was it a funeral? No. It was saying a speech at my sister's wedding. What is it about a dad saying a speech that makes that man fall apart? We hadn't seen an iota of emotion come through that hard Italian man's face for 3.5 decades, and he stood up and he grabbed the mic and he just broke down. And me and the rest of my family finally saw our dad drop his guard. He dropped his shield, and there he was, a vulnerable, complicated, emotional human being. And we were so embarrassed. Dad's crying. What a girl's dick. No one recognised him. He was saying words I've never heard him say before. At one point he goes, "And my beautiful family." Like, beautiful family? You called us you lot for 30 years. What have you done with my dad? All dads eventually become conspiracy theorists. That's how it works. Something in a dad brain. They're really open to it, you know? That's why, again, never retire, because that's what they do. They spend all day on the computer and they read something, and because it's on the screen, they think it's a fact. I believe if retirement was illegal, QAnon wouldn't exist. That is a fact. That's how they get them in. And Dad's always been touching. He's always, like 2 or 3 Christmases ago, he tried to tell me that Italian opera singer Andrea Bocelli is faking his own blindness. And when he said that, I was like, okay, it's time to get you to Woolies. Let's get you a midnight job stacking some bananas or something, Dad. We've got to get those brainwaves moving again. Hosing down the driveway 5 hours a day is not cutting it, Giuseppe. Let me tell you that much. It's his real name. Don't be racist. All dads want to be a full-blown conspiracy theorist. The hints were always there. Like when I came out, told Mum and Dad I was gay. Mum thought it was because she hugged me too much. And Dad blamed tap water. That pesky fluoride. So just quick insight into Christmas Day at the Valvos. Welcome. So here we are, right? Here's Dad on one end of the table telling us the microwave's listening. And here's Lynn on the other end, also retired, also very bored. What's she doing? What's she talking about? What's she thinking about? Her favourite topic, death. Loves death. Her own death, anyone's death. Just loves the topic of death. It is grim and she is there for the drama. She loves it. Absolutely loves it. 2 things my mum prepares for way too early. Interstate flights and death. Anywho, cute little joke there. That's fine. She thinks, and we're going to get a bit dark, but I know you're with me. She thinks every Christmas is her last. Welcome to the drama of my family. She's not going anywhere. Perfectly healthy. Thank you, Zumba. She's not going anywhere. But it doesn't stop the drama. So she feels she has to stand up every Christmas and have a speech, her big moment, the matriarch's last words to the family that will get tattooed on us or something. But no, it's nothing remotely memorable, nothing remotely poetic. Because she's drunk. It's drunk mum dribble. Christmas Day drunk dribbles, like a special kind of mum dribble. It's stuff like, excuse me, hey, phone down. Merry Christmas, live, laugh, sparkle. Mum, are you just saying things that you've read on pillows at Kmart? Oh, shut up, you. Happy New Year. Tokyo, Paris, New York, London. Fuck, I love Kmart. How good's Kmart? Oh, the 5 worst points of the pandemic for me when Kmart Berkeley Square became an exposure site and they had to close it down for cleaning. I was fucking beside myself. I'm just banging on the door. Let me in, it's worth the risk. I do Kmart wrong, okay? You're not meant to talk about Kmart. It's like Fight Club. You're not meant to tell people about Kmart. But if I'm rocking something from the mart and it gets a compliment, the battle in my head begins. It's like, oh, that's a nice shirt. Kmart!
And now, a fact.
When paying for something with coins, you have to say out loud, oh, hang on, I might have that. Hey, parents, do I have parenting in a nutshell? Here we go. You have the kid and you spend every year, every month, every day, every minute, every second of your life making sure that that human is fed and safe and warm and educated. And as a thanks to you, when they hit 13, you'll have conversations like this. Happy birthday, give me a hug. Fuck off, pedophile. That's it, isn't it? In a nutshell. Who signs up for that? I will be a bad dad because I need to be liked. I need to be loved by everyone. I will never punish the kid. Like me, be your friend. Like, look what I do for a living. I need to be liked. When I was 23 years old, I had a boyfriend. This was 15 years ago. And at the time, he told me a friend of his didn't like me very much. And I think about that every single day of my life. It is like my second thought every single morning. Like, who was it? I'll change their mind. I'll give them free tickets to my show. I want my neighbours to like me. Who doesn't want that? But I'm also very lazy. So, like, you know, if a neighbour ever knocked on our door, I'd hide and call the police. But this is a little joke for people that live in an apartment complex. Oh, apartment living, where you get to share the lift with people you've heard orgasm. It's a joke for the poor people. A lot of homeowners in this area. What's a complex? They've got money. I just want everyone to be rude at all times. I wish our natural gear was rude and no one cared. How nice would that be if you could just live your life being a rude little bitch and you just get away with it? Like, that's perfectly acceptable. But no, not in our day and age of rating and all this. I have a 4.9 Uber rating. Why isn't it 5? And I think about that. I work so hard for my 4.9. The other day I was at the airport coming home from Sydney, showbiz, sorry, and I was hot, I was tired. It's like, oh, I've got to go home, I've got to get in an Uber, I've got to work for my 4.9. Oh my God, you've got to be charming, you've got to be in the moment and present and polite. And then I saw this thing, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, a taxi. And I got in the taxi and the driver was the rudest person I have ever met, and it was the best 40 minutes of my last 2 years on earth. He was on his phone, I was on mine. Fucking bliss. Absolute bliss. Sign me up. Yeah, the fare was double, but that's what you pay for. The luxury of not talking. Sign me up. I've lost the whole room. I'll keep going. This is how taxi drivers are going to get everyone back. That's how you do it. Put bloody big billboards across the city. Taxi drivers, we won't ask you about your day. Fucking take my money, please. I'm going to keep going. No, I've lost that whole top half there. Everyone's scared that robots are going to come and take over the world. Good, start with retail. All these people right now not laughing. They're like, Nathan's a classist. This is rude. I'm not. You're just in denial. And you won't admit it out loud. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove that you don't want to talk to anyone, ever. I'll remind you of the feeling of joy that you get when you call a family member for their birthday and they don't answer. Oh, I'm dizzy. Was that sport? Hey, couples. Do you ever ask yourself this question? I've asked myself this question 3 times in the 8 years of our relationship. You're on the couch, watching your little movie, cute, right? Then you've had your little dinner, cute. Go up to bed, snuggy snug, bit warm. You know, Cody will fall asleep because he worked. And you're in your partner's embrace, and it's warm, and it's safe, and it's lovely. It's love. Then you get out of the bed, you go into the mirror, just look at yourself in the bathroom and think, where's the slut gone? That slut that you were in your 20s. What happened to him? What happens to the whore in all of us? I was a huge slut for 12 years, absolute animal, climb every mountain, had no money, didn't let it stop me. I'd go home with guys that lived near a train station so I could get home in the morning. That's how you do it. I was a huge slut. I once gave a guy a wristy in a toilet cubicle for a drink card. 3 months ago, Cody kissed me in the kitchen and I said, not in front of the plants. What happens to the slut? Then I think, does a baby fix like you're crazy? Like Band-Aid baby? Does it work? Single people, I don't want to lecture you, but I'll just tell you this. Here's my hot tip. If you're going to take anything away from this show, it's this. When I was single, I was a psychopath. Can you believe? And I thought once I locked in a boyf, got myself into a relation, the psycho would leave. It's just a warm-up. It is a warm-up for the Olympic Games of psycho, which is a long-term relationship. And I can tell you why I'm truly psycho. This is the hot tip, single people. When you go home tonight, figure out what you are out of 10. All right? Bit of homework, might hurt your feelings, ask your friends, ask some people on an app. Find out what you are out of 10, and then going forward, just date down. Date down. If you're an 8, date a 7. If you're a 7, date a 6. Don't do what I did. I went 3.5 up. 3.5 up. He's a hunk. 3.5 up. 8 years ago, proud of myself. Go you, Nath. 8 years in, I'm a psychopath. Every day, I think, is the day he's out of here, all right? I'm in full panic mode every single day of my life. I have to be fun. Do you know how funny I have to be to hold a 9.5? Do you know how hard the pressure on me every day? I'm scared that if I organise a surprise party, I'm going to catch him cheating. That's how psychotic I am. Surprise! Oh, who's that? You've gotta date down for comfort. He did. He sleeps very comfortably. Cody sleeps a lot better than me. Date down. And straight people always ask gays at a wedding by hour 4 when you're drunk and confident if we're in an open relationship. Drunk aunties love asking that question, you know? They've done the nut bush, they're fucking pinging. And they decide it's time to go to talk to the gay table. This drunk octopus in a dress from Suzanne's. Here she comes. Why is she moving like that? Is she on roller skates? Your relationship, Nathan. Tell me something. Are you... Do you do it? Are you open? No, why do you mime that, Auntie Kath? I'm not bugged. You can say the word. No, we're not open, okay? We don't do threesomes, because I know how threesomes work. Not everyone wants everyone. Someone's being used as bait to lure in the main catch. And I know what role I'll play that night, okay? They just take home hot Dr. Cody 9.5 out of 10 and I come along as part of the meal deal. Date down. Gay parenting seems hard to me. There's a lot of roadblocks, don't you think? A couple of my mates, lesbians, together, of course. They said to me not long ago, you'd donate your sperm to us, wouldn't you? Just give us your sperm. We'd want nothing else from you ever again. I'm like, I think that's a lie. You say you don't want anything else now, but let's fast forward 5 years when Mum and Mum have a ticket to Pink and the bloody babysitter's cancelled. Who's getting the call? Old mate donor. I'm not coming. I've got plans. I'm seeing Pink, you know? If Cody and I adopt, do we get to be as smug and as arrogant as people that adopt a dog. Just down at the cafe on a Saturday. She's beautiful, thanks. She's a rescue. Did you hear that joke, Twitter? Type away. You act like that you never make mistakes. You do. And here's why I feel gay people will be better at parenting than anyone, all right? Because there are no mistakes in gay world. It's very hard for Cody and I to go out on the weekend and get absolutely maggoted and come home and forget to put a condom on and accidentally stumble through a 9-year adoption process. Every time I see a rainbow family, I'm like, well, what has gone on there? What is the story there? What hoops were jumped through? What plot from a J-Lo movie has gone down for that kid to be with those beautiful parents? And sometimes, just sometimes, I see a straight couple with a kid and think, oh, do they want that? You never ask that for the gays. Look at you all pretending there's no mistakes. There is mistakes, and I know there is because of the word blessed. This is how you know. It goes like this. These are our 3 kids. This is Matt and Sarah, and when Matt was 28 and she was 26, we were blessed with Jake.
And now it's time for Party Tips with Nath Valvo.
Leave. Before you leave, I better give you a life update. Oh yeah, let's quickly do that. Let's fast forward to today. Liz and Fiona are still my 2 best friends in the whole world. Been best friends with both of them for over 30 years. Liz married a man and has 4 kids. Fiona married a man and she had twins, which she's stoked because she hates sex. So this is back to its original owner, which is pretty exciting. And Cody and I have come to a decision. We have decided that we are going to have a baby. We have decided that we will have a child. How we do that, nebulous. But by deciding that we will have one, just one, because I did a Google search, that's what I do, and it cost on average, in this country, $400,000 to have a child from 0 to 21 years old. $400,000 for that kid's life. Okay, let me tell you something. My super plan is to check old birthday cards for money to see if I missed anything. And Cody's in medical research. There is no money in medical research, which is insane for the work that they do. I nabbed myself a doctor, got the wrong fucking kind. I'm furious. It's like when you order McDonald's delivery and it comes and there's something wrong. They've forgotten something, but you're too desperate to do anything about it, so you just have the meal. That's my relationship. 8 years with no nuggets. So here is the biggest question of all. Oh my God, when you straighties decide to have a kid, you go, most of the time, you go in and you mash your bits and you whip your bits up and you have no control. You don't know who it's going to look like, whose hair it's going to get, whose eyes, whose wit, whose sporting ability, whose intelligence. You don't know. You roll the dice. Very different for the gays. Cody and I have to sit down one day, make ourselves a cup of tea and ask the question, so, whose family bloodline should we eliminate from the planet? That is a big call. Considering we don't know what's for dinner half the time, I don't know how we're going to land on a decision. I mean, dinner, you know it's chicken, but like, with what sauce? I'll tell you this, I will fight hard for the Valvos. I will fight hard. Cody's family are lawyers and doctors and they've got money and they live in Queensland. Thank fuck for borders. I'm just saying. But they exercise together and that should be the end of them. It should end with Cody. Who exercises with their family? Oh my God, I come from a remember that time Dad punched a hole in the wall family. They're obsessed with water. All they ever talk about is going for a dip. We're going for a dip. Going for a dip. Sunset dip. Sunrise dip. Post-lunch dip. Pre-dinner dip. We're going for a dip. You get your togs, come for a dip. Come for a dip. I'm from Brunswick. I wouldn't dip in the ocean if I was on fire, you psychopaths. I don't understand his family. They're a nice family. What? They're the printer family. Do you remember growing up in your street, you had that printer family that had the printer that always worked with the backup ink and the backup paper, just printing out Monopoly rules? That family, that's his family. They kiss each other hello and laugh at the dad's jokes. Psychotic people, okay? Last time I was there, they had dinner at the table. Is your TV broken? If you're being called to the table, dinner's not ready, something real bad's gone down. All right? Like a pet's dead or dad's going to the shops again for 6 months, but it's definitely not dinner. Where'd you put all the boxes? I don't understand his family. Last time I was there, I found an unfinished block of chocolate neatly folded in the fridge. I'm sorry. What family doesn't finish a block of chocolate? What family goes, that's enough for today, back in the fridge for tomorrow? What? Doesn't survive the car ride home. His 2 adult sisters call the dad Daddy. Thank you. Correct noise. Anytime I've said the sentence, thank you, Daddy, it's been nowhere near my family. That's my show. I've been Nath Valvo. Thanks for coming. Thanks so much.